What up, everybody? It's your baby boomer Kitty Lane from the Peninsula in Virginia. Back with another Create and Relate. And it is Talk About It Tuesday. Sit here for a few and see if we get anybody to join us today. I wonder if anybody saw my live from this morning. Y'all, I couldn't sleep. Got me a few hours in a little later in the day. That's why this one is coming to you in the afternoon. Good afternoon, and welcome to Create and Relate. How's everybody's afternoon going? And what are we working on today? I started on another car seat cover. Promised myself I wasn't going to start anything until I finished. But being a creator, you know how we do. If it crosses your mind, you got to get to it. But I don't think I'm doing too bad, though. As far as the G.R.O.W foundation goes, I only have 3 whips. And if you want to count the ends not being weaved in on these other 3 washcloths, then I have 6 whips. But I'm really counting those as being done. It's literally just one end on each cloth. That's what I got so far. Just a baby. Just a little one. Everybody who comes in, whether you're watching live or if you're catching the replay, please be sure to like. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Don't forget to comment. And please share. I'm trying really hard to reach monetization. There are a couple of ideas I want to put before everybody this afternoon. So I'm going to give it a little while, see if anybody comes in. Excuse me, about another 10 minutes or so. See if we get anybody to come in. I think I just saw my daughter. Okay, well, she didn't text, so maybe it wasn't my daughter. No, I don't see her. Okay, well, I said I was gonna give it time. I'm gonna give it time. I'm exercising patience. I know, right? I'm sorry, y'all. I haven't taken any night medicine in a couple of nights, and me not being able to sleep at night is showing that. So I might end up taking it tonight, y'all. Don't have a doctor's appointment until Thursday. I'm all set up and ready to go. Transportation called and scheduled that ride. Like I said, this is a car seat cover. Can also serve as a small baby blanket. I did manage to finish one. Excuse me, I'll either wait for somebody to come in or I'll show it close to the end of the video. I would like to remind everyone of the giveaway I have going on. It is currently the 27th of August. We have 4 days. So you have until approximately 5:30 on the 31st. The drawing will be at 6 o'clock. I am going to do the drawing live, and I promise not to take up much of your time, maybe 5-10 minutes max. Excuse me, y'all. So, we had a situation yesterday with the babies and the buses. Day number 2. Guess what? No issues. Both my babies were on the same bus. They got off together. Yes. So this one is going to be an array of colors. I'm going into my small balls that I got from Temu. And it's cute because of the first 4 blankets, 3 of them are Temu blankets. And it may end up being more. I don't know. But we shall see. I am so sorry, y'all. That one was kind of rude. I'm so sorry. That's me being in crochet mode. So tell me in the comments if you're not catching the live, what is your favorite genre of movies? And do you have a favorite movie? If so, what is it? My favorite genre is horror. I love horror. Um, I love more paranormal horror than slashing horrors. The slasher movies have gotten to be kind of comical to me because they're really looking for a way to frighten you more. And they're missing the mark to me. I get more of a jolt from a good action movie or a good dramatic movie than I do from a horror movie nowadays. I got tears filling in the wells of my eyes. It's the beauty in having my blinds open this time of day. Excuse me. I can see out, but they can't see. Oh, sorry. I just had to get it out. Okay, I can go into the topic of today, which is quite simple. It's based on a little quote that I wrote a few years ago, a little motivational quote. It simply states that humility does not equal weakness. A lot of people tend to take people's kindness for weakness. They think because they're quiet and a bit of an introvert or standoffish or whatever, that they're weak. And in times that they feel like being bothersome or uh, a bit of a pest or even bullyish, that these are the people that they can go for. They just appear to be easy targets. But I'm sure somewhere down the line, your mama or your auntie or your grandma told you to look out for the quiet ones. Yeah, look out for the quiet ones. Too often, people call themselves and they're joking or teasing or harassing or whatever you want to call it. Um, just joking. Hey, excuse me, y'all. I'm telling y'all, when I turn this camera on, the yawns just come out of nowhere. It's like they are kindred spirits or something. But yeah, they tend to take advantage of those who are, who appear to be timid. And then when they turn around and get owned, then it's a different ball game. They want to know why, what happened, where, when, all the question words. No, you weren't asking question words when you were doing all that joking. You weren't asking any question words when you were trying to hurt my feelings. You're going to take this tongue lashing. I am Sagittarius, and so is my youngest daughter. My son is Cancer, my oldest daughter is Taurus, and my son that passed away excuse me, was on the cusp of Capricorn falling, Aquarius rising. He was on the 13th of January. I don't know what he would have been like, but my baby girl, in true form of Sagittarians, when you back her into a corner, she comes out fighting. If your toes happen to get in the way or your feelings, then your best choice is to call Jasmine Sullivan so she can finish telling you to pick up your feelings. Don't forget to come and pick up your feelings. Yeah. Because by the time she gets through reading you the Riot Act, you feel guilty. And sometimes don't even know why. You just know that you feel real guilty. My son, on the other hand, my son is Cancer. And he, hey, let me say this. When you're dealing with him, come real and easy. Come real easy. Come real and come easy. Yes. Those Cancers gonna be playing. Their snap factor is like 0 to 20,000 and just there. And my oldest daughter is Taurus. Her excuse me. Her thing is if you cross her, she gonna pay you back until she gets satisfied. Yeah. I'm a little more involved in that Sagittarius that backs into the corner. Um, I'm a mental fighter. Hello. I'm quiet. I sit back and I observe. I like to do that, but like I said, by no means does that mean I'm weak. I'm not. And the more time that I spend with me, the more I realize how much power I have. I realize and accept the power of words. I understand a lot. Yep. feet have started swelling up again to the point that I can't get shoes on again. All I can do is wear my slides. But it's all good. Please remember to keep Jennifer of Cinnamon Stitches in prayer, as well as Kayla from Llama Mama Kayla. And she's not a newbie. Excuse me. Um, Her handle is Naughty Crocheter. Her name is Amanda. So please keep her in mind. Keep all of them in mind. Um, oh boy. I'm trying to go 1,000 different places. Also, I said Mama Kayla and Jennifer. I'm trying to see if I remember anybody else. This whole yarning community as a whole, just keep us all in prayer as we move forth. Each one of us is just trying to do our thing to reach out to people and share a bright, happy side. Thank you for the like. I'm walking into the like. So this is day 2 without the grandbabies all day. And although I'm loving the absence of the arguing, I miss my boo boos. Yep. And they don't understand that this TV does not rule their lives. When they come in, the first thing they want to do is turn on the TV. And the past couple of days, it's been nope. No toys, no TV, no man. But it's been delightful not to hear the arguing. But I miss my boogers. I miss my little yellow booger and my beige booger. I do. I messed up. As you can see, I don't mind frogging. And don't. Donated or selling. I just have to do it right. Mm, mm. In case you missed it, this is going to be a car seat cover. I don't know why I have trouble remembering the name of it. And I actually completed one. This is the one that I completed. Did I have fun making it? Of course. knowing it's for some little baby out there. And quite honestly, it's like just big enough that it can be a lap throw. Um, in the holiness churches, the ladies call it a little lap covering, prayer handkerchief. And that's for the women that sit in the pulpit and they're wearing their dresses. They can put that across their laps to avoid tempting those that might be peeping. Yeah, that goes on in the church too. For years, I've been kind of at the crossroads with church, not my faith, not my faith, but with church. And it led to me not really going to the church that I even currently belong to kind of. But yeah, on paper, I belong to the church in Chesapeake, in the Deep Creek area. But I used to tell my mother, these people don't really care about me. The only reason they have anything to do with me is because of you. They really don't care about me. And of course, whenever we were going to church and they were there and I was with my mother, I get all kinds of hugs and kisses. And yo, I'm a very frank person. Um, I'm a very blunt person. I'm tactful. I'm very tactful. But I don't like pretentious people. So I don't like being put in a position where I have to be pretentious. And I know church is not the place to say to these people, hey, you're not in my face any other time. Don't be trying to pull that up in here. No, I don't do that. I just politely, help them, Lord. Sometimes I go home and I have conversations with the father, like, now that was not right for her to come up to me like that. Just like I know. My mom be like, who are you talking to? My father. Y'all, I was raised as an only child. Um, I used to brag about the fact that I was my mother's first, her last, and all in between. When all the while I secretly wanted siblings. I wanted siblings so badly. I really, really, really did. And when I turned 53, I found out that I had one sister and three brothers. Yeah. And I met my middle brother and my sister the same year that I found them, like a month or so after I found them. And they were real open armed and accepting. I also met uh, a niece and nephew on my sister's side. A few months later, I drove to Georgia. Not even a few months, it was like a month later. I drove to Georgia to spend time with my brother and his family. And about the time my oldest brother really started asking about me, he unfortunately passed away. Um, the youngest brother, I've heard, wants no parts of me. I mean, I okay. You know, I'm not gonna say it doesn't hurt, but you know, um, I think there's a gap in understanding somewhere between all of us because I understand that I was not in their life for 53 years, but it was through no fault of my own. Um, and I don't think they understand that I understand their position. I get it. I do get it. But understanding someone's position and feeling the effects of the circumstances are not the same things. And I guess they feel because I can handle the fact that we weren't around each other that much, because I'm not caused a ruckus or I haven't done this, I haven't done that. Okay, I give you that. I really do. But what you're not understanding is, excuse me, as a child, I longed for siblings. I did. I wanted siblings so badly. And for them to act like I don't exist now, that's a hurtful thing. But I was able to meet my beautiful niece and handsome nephew on my sister's side. I also met my niece, beautiful niece, and handsome nephew on my brother's side. My nephew on my brother's side is a news reporter, a storyteller, the one, the only Corey McGinnis. He has reported in Georgia, Alabama, Texas, and now he is in New York. Yes. And I'm so proud of him. I am so proud of him. Catching those stories and reporting them to the world. Yay! And he's the only one out of everybody who really keeps up with his auntie. I hear from Corey kind of frequently, and it does my heart good. It really does. Hello, hello. So tell me, how is everyone this afternoon, rather? We still got a little bit of time before it gets to evening. How is everyone, and what are you working on, and what are you sipping on? I have water. I dropped my whole water bottle, but I am drinking water. Oh, my yarn keeps slipping out of the yarn. My hook keeps slipping out of the yarn. My grandfather, my doctor uh, told me that she was going to do some more testing Thursday. My grandfather was diabetic, therefore, as a descendant, I'm constantly having my blood sugar tested. And so far, I'm not diabetic. I don't ever plan to be diabetic. I'm sorry. Oh boy. It's the camera, I tell you, it's the camera. Don't you hate it when you crochet along and you declare you're doing the right thing, and then you go back and look at it and it's like, that wasn't quite right. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I need bunches of thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Ouch. I don't know if y'all heard that, but that was bone on bone in my thigh. Yeah. So she has a roach pepper. I think she ate something hot. At least she's not hooping and hollering, because I'd have been hooping and hollering. I would have. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm being asked to ask no one question in sign language because she doesn't want her voice to be heard. She has a beautiful voice. Such a beautiful voice. Yes, she does. So, 40. I'm forever dropping this hook. And I always lose my count. You see, I got my little stitch markers attached to my dress. When I went up to the bus stop to pick up the kids, I was working on this one. So to try to keep up with my rows, I took my stitch markers over. I can give you all an update too on my the bed sores. They're getting better. They're healing. And that's when they become most aggravating. So the list for the G.R.O.W Foundation donations will be from this point forward listed in the description box. And that way I don't have to keep trying to remember as I go. As things are made and taken off on my end, I will subtract them from the list. I'll probably be showing what I do in WIPs if things start coming in, or when things start coming in, I'll be showing those as well. Um, and I also stress to please, please, please check your subscriptions and make sure that you are still subscribed to these channels. Um, I was looking at someone else last night who said that they too had been knocked out of a lot of their subscriptions. And I don't mean, as a creator, they've lost subscribers. They have been removed from a lot of pages or a lot of accounts as being subscribed to them. And I mean, it wasn't just, the yawning community. Sometimes I follow like the guys who go around and cut your grass and shape up your yard for you free of charge. I follow them. I think it's just the hum of the lawnmower that just that and my big hug from my mama. That's what I call this chat. A big hug from my mama. But those two things just kind of lull me. And even if it doesn't put me to sleep, it keeps me in a calm state. Yeah. I got my glasses sitting on top of my head, and I need to have them on my face. If I'm not mistaken, I think I did 85 stitches across. And I don't even know how many rows I'm going up. Um, in my head, I have a little pattern. But the question is if I'm going to transfer that pattern from my head. So far, I'm following it. It's uh, pretty simple. I'm using the greens as a main color, and then I'm adding splotches of other color. But I don't know what to name it. I asked the question before, and I'll re-ask the question. What is your favorite genre of movies? And then, if you have a favorite movie, what is it? And is your favorite movie in that genre? Or are you like me? I have good movies in each genre. I like, I love horror. Like I said, I love horror. And if it's paranormal horror, it's even better. That to me is the absolute best. I also, y'all forgive me, I have to reposition. See, it's not as bad as it's been being. I don't grimace quite as much. Um, but even with my favorite genre being horror, For a while, I was feeling the paranormal activity movies, but they got to be real comical. If I'm looking at a horror movie, I want to experience the thrill of being frightened. I love to be in balance, but not comfortable in a position. Does that make sense? It's like once I reach a certain point in life, okay, take my most recent situation. So we were we had gotten behind on some things and we needed help, and things were looking pretty bleak for a moment. Okay. So we're out of that situation, and in my mind, we're out long enough just to go, phew, but it's time to get back on grind because to me, just making it from A through the alphabet back to A is just, excuse me, it's just accomplishing a bullet point on the outline. It's not writing the whole term paper, if you understand. It's like, okay, it's like climbing a ladder. Okay, so I've reached round one. My feet are off the ground, but I'm only a step away. If I step down now, I'm not hurting anything. I'm still at a position where I can fall. And if I do, chances are I won't hurt myself too badly. So, why would I be satisfied staying right here? You see what I'm saying? If I can't see the prize, but I know it's there. It's like the prize is above the clouds. So as long as I keep climbing, then maybe one day I'll see that prize, which in my eyes, death is the ultimate prize. And I only mean that because that means that we have lived our life and we're ready to transition into the next level. So I'm not talking anything crazy. Um, I'm sorry, but that's the way I handle things in life. It's like when I finish the Grow project, I have already thought of a few more things I want to do. I want to have a couple of crochet alongs. I do know that. And just one where we can work on something different, like every day. I know for Thanksgiving, I want to build a Thanksgiving feast in the shape of a table runner. I'm trying to get my colors now. I think right now I'm looking at fall colors, which are like red, orange, um, brown, beige, and yellow. I think that's it. If we add a green, it needs to be like a hunter's green, which is very, very, very dark. And December, I want to crochet along with a different kind of blanket, and I want to call it a festive blanket, not necessarily to um, commemorate Christmas, because I do know that there's some people who don't celebrate Christmas. There's some who celebrate Hanukkah. There's some who don't celebrate at all. But the reason I want to do it is because December is my birthday month. So I want to see what everybody does. I want to see the beautiful makes that they make. And if I'm not mistaken, the colors that I had for that one are black, brown, green, red, white, and yellow. I didn't write the Thanksgiving ones down. Thanksgiving, brown, yellow, red, orange, and hunters green. Oh, and beige. Yep. Okay, so I worked out a little more details for the one. Thank you for the likes. I worked out a little more detail for the one in December, the crochet along in December, which is the festive blanket with the 6 colors that I had. And you can work up any design that you want to. I was thinking more of a blanket. Hello. Um, I was thinking more along the lines of a blanket. It can even be a wearable. It can be a sweater or whatever. But if it's a blanket, I'm looking at it taking the entire month to make. And what you would do is commit to 1,225 stitches a day. So, and it will actually be like a few more than that. I think it's like 1,228, something like that. 20, somewhere around in there. 1,227 or 1,228 stitches a day. Hello, hello. And just do that number for that day. And then on the 31st, so on the 1st of January, everybody reveal. I'm going to be working at that time to try to connect my Instagram and my Facebook to my YouTube account so that we can post those pictures. In the meantime, what I'll be doing starting then is posting my progressive pictures on my community page. So I'm calling that one a festive blanket. And then the Thanksgiving table runner. I know that a lot of people have craft shows and those types of things coming up. And they're preparing for Halloween. I get it. I kind of wanted to do one for Halloween too. Um, but I'm going to work on the specifications for these if I decide to do one. Excuse me. If I decide to do one in October, I will get all the specs together for that as well. And it's just something that we can kind of work on together. I like the idea of community. I like the idea of like minded groups where we can just get together and do something. And I will try to commit to maybe 1 or 2 days a week. One will be in the morning and one will be in the evening where we'll have lives. And we can kind of, show them off then, the progressions, or, like I said, I'm also going to be working on linking Facebook and Instagram to my YouTube channel so that we can post those pictures there. Uh, Still encouraging everybody, please, 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 please leave comments. I do respond to the comments. Uh, there was something else I wanted to say, but I can't remember. That's what happens when you turn 60. I think it starts happening when you turn 35. At a class started. Why am I dropping everything? But at a class started forgetting things when I turned 35. Y'all know what this means, right? We getting ready to get it in. Do you say your name Matio or Machio or Matio or Machio? I'm a blanket kind of girl. I started, the very first thing I made was a poncho and a tam hat. And then I made the lace strip to go across the top of a queen size flat sheet. But then from there, I veered more towards blankets. And the only yarn I worked with for years was um, the full worsted weight yarn, and started out being a red heart girl. I've been crocheting for 55 years. So this was the age of 5 up through young adult. Um, I started experimenting with cotton, I would say, when I was in my late 20s. I really didn't like the feel of it. I don't like the string. I call it string. It feels like thread in my hands. I don't like that at all. But if I'm commissioned to do a project with it, I will do it. I will. Um, but yeah, I'm basically a blanket type of girl. That's why I kind of gravitated towards the baby blankets, because I enjoy blankets so much, and I know that I can work on more than one or two at a time. And it's kind of like, to me, I don't know if you like remember in school where you had to write sentences if you did something bad, and you would go down the page. Will, not, not. And you write the first sentence completely out, the next sentence minus the last word, the next sentence one word shorter. You go all the way down like that, or you go, you will come down to like a triangle on the page, or you would, like I said, write it all out and miss a word. It would either be like 10 eyes, and then 9 wills, and 8 not, 7B. You would either do it, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, it's kind of like that with the blankets. When I start one, I'm like really, really into it until I get to a point, and then I'm like, so then I can start on the next one. And the other part of that is that I have a lot of alphabets. I am OCD and ADHD. So when I'm working on one and the pattern starts becoming a little redundant, then it's time for me to move to the next one. And with me always having something to work with the blankets, it's it keeps my mind okay. It's like I'm sitting here now, I'm thinking about the um, Thanksgiving dinner table runner, the festive blanket for the month of December. I have made clothing. The very first time I experimented with apparels, I was 18, and I made myself a white strapless dress. It was a mini dress, had ruffles galore around the bottom, and I had just had a baby, my oldest daughter, and I made her a matching dress. I didn't know too much about uh, fibers back then, so everything was in worsted weight, and these were definitely summer style dresses, but the worsted weight in Carolina in the summertime was too hot. It's like all we could do was put our dresses on and sit in the shade on the porch. We couldn't really model them anywhere because it was just too hot. The material itself was too hot. But since then, having Granger, well, experimenting even since then, not too long ago, I would have to say it was in 2019, if I'm not mistaken. I made my daughter a shirt with it was the two granny squares shirt, and she liked it so much that she asked me to make one for her best friend, which I did. But even still, my daughter was like, Mom, as cold as I get, I'm going to wear something under it. And that was cool. That was cool. That was fine. But I knew at that point that I wanted to start experimenting with smaller fibers. And it wasn't until I started really getting, it wasn't until I became disabled, which was just a few years ago, that I really had a desire to work with finer fibers because I wanted to get more into apparels. And since then, as a matter of fact, I think it was just last month, if I'm not mistaken, I made myself this gorgeous dress. I was looking at a tutorial that Jennifer of Cinnamon Stitches did, and hers was actually a tank top. And I didn't want a tank top, I wanted a dress. I love dresses. I absolutely love dresses. So I made a dress. And before that, I had actually made my granddaughter a dress as well. She hasn't worn it yet, but she loves dresses also. And my daughter saw the dress that I made myself, and she wants one. So the material that I bought to do myself another one, I'm actually going to be making her dress. My youngest daughter just came to me last night and told me the type of dress she wants me to make her. So it's like, even though I'm a blanket girl, it looks like I'm being pushed towards, and I'm leaning towards apparels as well. But I do make a lot of 55 years of crocheting. I make a lot. I have done probably my share and everybody else's share of hats. And I made a lot of washcloths and scrunchies and ear warmers. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the ear warmers. I've made tons of those. So, what do you like to crochet? I'm also a girl who likes colors. I like things very colorful. I don't know if you saw the green and white and yellow car seat cover that I did yesterday that I'm going to be donating. But I have that one. I've got this corner to corner. I call it bubble gum because that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of bubblegum ice cream. And of course, this one that does not have a name. I just know that it's going to be K. Even though it's going to have colors, I know that the base color is going to be green. I got like this aqua and then this like mint green. And I've got a spring green and a grass green. And I know they're going to be my base colors. Awesome. Awesome. So, what is your favorite stitch? I think you told me. I think you told me. If I'm not mistaken. I think you. No. Yes. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Not your favorite stitch. You told me your favorite yarn and your favorite size hook. But what is your favorite stitch? So, see, I have you. I got you. I got you. I started making with the poncho and the tam. I did the granny square, and then the lace that I added to the top of the sheet was some sort of border. I don't remember it, but it was basically double crochets that I remember. And they were like shit. Hell, awesome! That's what I'm doing now. Half double crochet. What do you like about it? I like the fact that it's so, I say, springy. I don't care what kind of yarn you use. The half double crochet gives you that flexibility or that pull that you just don't get with the other stitches. I mean, even moss stitch is my go-to stitch, and that's because of the elasticity that it gives, but it's not as much as the half double crochet. And I've noticed that here recently. I did tell you all that I'm doing the car seat cover. I did 85 uh, 85 half double crochets in my foundation row. I didn't chain. I actually did the foundation row. Yes, I did. I told y'all I'm learning a lot. Being that I've become disabled and I'm pretty much here at home and in a position where I have to sit, I can't just sit and do nothing. So, and I've always been a person who loves to learn. So I'm flipping to tutorials, I'm learning new stitches, I'm reading more books, and the whole gamut. Thank you. Thank you. Uh, of course, at the top of the half double crochet, you know that you have two V's. You've got that front V and the back V. Well, the front V facing you and the back V or the top V. I'm going in the front V only. So it's giving me that almost like a ribbed effect. So I like texture too. Oh yeah, and I don't mind frogging. I don't. If I see a mistake, I will take it out. That's another thing I like about going in the front V is that it leaves that back V open, and I'll show you what I mean. If I accidentally scoop up that second V, it shows. So it's easy to, I'm trying to do it so that the light will let you see it. There you go. So it's easy to see when you make a mistake. And if I'm on track, or if I have to frog it like I just did. And I don't mind frogging. How long have you been crocheting? I started in January of 1969, I believe. Yeah, because I would have been 6 that year. I had just turned 5. It was January 5th, 1969, when I started crocheting. I remember the date because we had just come back from what we called then Christmas and New Year's break. And my babysitter decided she was going to teach me to crochet. She had asked prior to the break if I was interested in learning because I was very much the busybody, like I said, ADHD. And I, like my grandson now, used to ask a lot of questions. It's 15 years. Have you been like consistently crocheting for 15 years? Or have you taken breaks? I know I took breaks and I didn't really get back into it until I was in my 30s. I remember when I was in college, I started picking up crocheting again. Well, like I said, I started when I was 5. I did it, there was no real commitment to it. I did the poncho and hat because my babysitter had me to sit down and do it, and the topping to the sheet. She had me sit down and do it. And of course, that lasted for like the rest of that school year. So I didn't really go to school that much in second grade. I had a mishap. I was bullied a lot, and one of my bullies caused a very serious injury that put me in the hospital and actually paralyzed me. So um, once I regained my mobility, crocheting was the last thing from my mind. And then in third grade, they were crocheting as a project for us. The little crochet class we had only lasted a week. So it was like the first day I made a pot holder and everyone else was just learning stitches. I didn't understand humility and, I was very arrogant back then about what I knew. If I knew it, I knew it. And, you just had to catch up. But, I was at that point kind of drafted to help teach the class. And I did kind of, but I found myself only gravitating to those who were picking it up because they were the only ones who seemed like they really wanted to do it. And I didn't want to be bothered with, I mean, mind you, I'm 8 years old. I'm 7 and 8 years old. I'm not understanding patience and all that good stuff with my peers. But then I put it down for a long time. I did not pick it up again until I was in junior high. Um, I would have to say probably around the age of 12. I was in seventh grade, and the lady next door used to keep me, and she crocheted, and she would also knit as well. She did teach me how to knit. She did. Do you knit? But she taught me, and I understood the concept, and I would try, and I would sit there and knit with her, but my heart was pulled more towards crocheting. So that's what I did for probably until well, at that point, it was probably off and on until my mid-20s. I got married in my mid-20s. No, I got married in my early 20s. He was in his mid-20s. It was so long ago. Yep. But, then I'm looking at the fact that I had a 4-year-old, a brand new baby. I was working 2 jobs. I crocheting was not something I could afford to do at that time. And then when I got pregnant with my second son, Christopher, the doctor put me on bed rest. And then I picked it up again a little bit, just a little bit. But I didn't pick it back up again until, excuse me, I think my baby girl was 2. And we had moved. I moved out of my mom's house. I got my own place. And I was trying this, we were on welfare. I was trying to supplement my income. Because my little check, bless my heart, was $219 and my rent was $199. And there was no way I could make that $20 pay the electric bill, the gas bill, the water bill, and the phone bill, and get clothes for the kids. And there was no way I could make that do all of that. So I had to supplement my income. I sold candy and I crocheted and sold my crochet. And I kind of, kept it low key from there because that's when the health issues started. And I think a lot of life's experiences went into the difficulties that I had in my health experiences. Yeah, but I didn't get I didn't immerse myself into it until I would say probably about 2.5, 3 years ago. I wouldn't say you're a beginner, and I understand that. I do understand that. I wouldn't say that, but I understand that because until I really, really, when I really started taking it serious, honestly, was like 2011. That was the first time I had looked at a YouTube video to go through and learn a tutorial. So, and I really kind of stuck it out after that. I was doing spoken word, and I found that every time I went to any spoken word event, I was taking my crocheting with me. And, I became known as the poet who crochets all the time. And it was cool. It was cool because I was making things happen. I was doing something that I really enjoyed. I didn't realize how much it meant having crocheting in my life and how much, excuse me, my crocheting was doing to control my hyperactivity. Um, I would have to say, in all honesty, as far as the OCD is concerned, it's kind of mixed emotion, or the reviews are kind of mixed as to whether crocheting helps or hurts it. Because like now, I've stopped altogether. Because sometimes I can carry a conversation where I can count in my head as well. And as long as I'm counting, I'm fine. That's my OCD is counting and micro organizing. There's certain things that I need to do in my room, but I'm not seeing. I see the big picture, but when I get up and do, I won't do the big picture. I know the nightstand needs to go there. Probably a 5-minute fix. Pull the dresser down, put the chair back over in that corner. And it could be done almost as quickly as I said it, but this OCD thing tells me, no, you've got to go over there and organize the yarn in that pile, get it all balled up, maybe come back and make some yarn cakes, put them up where they belong. That's what my micro organized mind is telling me instead of, handle the big pieces and get it done. Um, so because of that and the breaks that I took and me not really getting into it until 2011, I consider myself probably between beginner and intermediate. My girls tell me different. Other people that I come into contact with tell me different. But I personally don't see it. I hope that makes sense. Oof. Good to go. I noticed you said that you like to crochet blankets, hats, and dishcloths. Have you made any other things? Like tablecloths. I've made 2 tablecloths. I think that's the real reason I don't like the thread because it takes forever to make tablecloths with that thin string, I call it, or thread. And I forgot what I was going to say. Well, guys, we have been here about an hour and a half. I would like to thank you all for joining me. Makes me feel all kinds of special and squishy inside. I said squishy. Oh wow, that's funny. I was courting a guy once, and his nickname for me was Squishy. He was like, "Oh, but you're just so soft and squishy." But like I said, thank you so much for joining me this evening. It is now, it's just about evening now. And I know a lot of lives come up at 6 o'clock, and I don't want to invade their space and time. But I want you guys to have an awesome evening as we go forth. I want you to remember when you see that reflection in the mirror, stop, give it a once over, and say, you look good. And then tell that image, I love you, and know from the bottom of my heart and the depths of my soul that I, Kitty Lane, love you too. And that's real, guys. Until next time.